In one of New York's older, busier streets stood a modest but well-known diner. It was early afternoon, a quieter hour between the lunch and evening rush. Customers trickled in, and the atmosphere was calm. In a corner booth sat a 10-year-old black boy named Eli, waiting silently for his father. He wore simple jeans and a blue shirt, his demeanor quiet and composed. He swung his legs gently under the table, showing no signs of impatience. The calm was broken when the diner door slammed open. Three rough-looking men stepped inside, radiating arrogance. Their leader, Vince Miller, was infamous in several neighborhoods for intimidation and petty violence. His swagger announced his presence before his voice did. As he strolled in, his eyes surveyed the place and then landed on Eli. Something about the boy's silence seemed to provoke him. Vince approached him with a smirk, towering over the small figure. Eli neither spoke nor reacted. The absence of fear or response only fueled Vince's irritation. Without warning, he struck the boy across the face with a sharp slap. The sound echoed, and the diner froze. Staff and customers looked on in disbelief. Eli didn't cry. He didn't shout. He simply steadied himself and lowered his gaze. Before anyone could process what had just happened, the door opened again, quietly this time. A tall man in a black coat entered with measured footsteps. His presence altered the air itself, replacing tension with something colder and heavier. Some in the diner recognized him instantly. Others just felt an instinctive dread. It was Marcellus Don King, the silent head of one of the most powerful Mafia families on the East Coast. A man whose name circulated only in whispers. The boy, who looked ordinary to everyone moments before, was his son. Marcellus didn't ask questions. He didn't need explanations. He placed a calm hand on Eli's head, then followed the boy's subtle glance toward Vince. No dramatic gesture, no raised voice, just a look that carried history, power, and consequences. Two men in tailored black suits entered right after him, as if they had been waiting just outside. Their movements were precise and unhurried. Vince and his companions immediately sensed something was wrong, terribly wrong. The bravado drained from their faces. Marcellus sat beside his son with quiet assurance. No anger showed on his face, only finality. The staff stood still, not daring to intervene. The customers lowered their eyes, pretending not to see but unable to ignore. Vince tried to step back, but one of the suited men blocked his path. Another forced him into a chair. Sweat replaced arrogance across his skin. He wanted to explain, to deny, to apologize, but no words left his mouth. He already understood the cost of a mistake he hadn't known he was making. With a single nod, Marcellus signaled his men. They lifted Vince from his seat and escorted him out of the diner without uttering a word. His friends didn't resist. Fear had stripped them of any will. No one ever learned exactly what happened to Vince after that day. But whispers traveled fast through back alleys, poker rooms, and late-night streets. A man had hit the wrong child, one whose silence was guarded by power beyond imagination. Marcellus adjusted Eli's collar and rested a hand on his shoulder. The diner owner, pale and motionless, received only a brief glance from him, a silent assurance and a silent warning. Father and son walked out as calmly as they had come. A black convoy waiting outside absorbed them and disappeared into the city. Only after they left did people exhale, the kind of breath a person doesn't realize they've been holding. The chairs creaked, conversations resumed in whispers, and eyes met with unspoken understanding. That afternoon carved a lesson into the city's memory. Never assume a quiet child is alone, and never mistake stillness for weakness. Some families don't shout to be known. The world already knows to fear their silence.